Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Tired Parents Podcast. I'm Myles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
We're eternally tired, but also very excited.
Eternally tired.
Eternally tired.
I like it.
We'll get it tattooed on the back of our necks.
Terrifically tired.
Terrifically tired. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know
Came
how
up
much
with
I
it
love.
just now.
You know how much alliteration turns me
I
on.
know. That's why I said it. A little bit of foreplay.
Also, a little bit of foreplay is our guest today. I've known our guest today for 18 years now, which is weird to say because he hosted the first open mic that I ever did as a stand-up comedian, but he is also the owner of Papalote Mexican Grill in San Francisco, and as well as Papalote Salsa, which you can pick up at a grocery store near you. The wonderful, the lovely, the voluptuous, the talented Victor Escobedo. Senor! Oh, was it too long of an intro?
Tired. No, I'm too tired.
No, you're too tired.
Parenting is tiring.
It's very, very tiring.
Facts.
This is very, very tiring. I really committed to that, too. That was good. That was a good snore.
Huh?
Yes, exactly.
Morning.
Afternoon.
What are we doing here? What are you doing in my bedroom?
I love your setup.
The lighting in your bedroom is impeccable.
It comes from the
Dome up?
off the dome.
It does. It does. How's it going, man? Good to have you here.
It's good. It's good. I feel a lot of love. I miss you guys.
Yeah, we miss you, too.
Yeah. I'm so busy. I'm so busy
All the time.
With work, and you have friends who live so close, and you just never have the time, you know, from like work, make dinner,
Yeah.
eat, and then weekends are like, what am I gonna do with my time? And you never really, nobody ever sits down and says like, let me see, who have I not seen in 2 months, 2 years?
Heather does.
I do. I have a problem. I'm working on it.
So cool.
No, it's not.
It's a lot because you will hit people up religiously, and
do.
then it, unfortunately, because people have lives,
Yeah.
doesn't get reciprocated
Yeah,
as much.
it sets me up for a letdown probably too much. So I have to find a balance because I do have like a tab in my phone of the last time I talked to a friend, what they had going on.
Yeah.
Just so I can like keep up with things, big things, you know, and so I can ask about it the next time I see them. But sometimes that's too much. So.
That's so 1995
Thanks.
because of social media.
Specifically
Yeah.
the
And
summer of
I think
95.
it's one of the the summer of 95. I would call you to see how you're doing. Last time I called was 3 months ago, according to the tab I have open in my phone.
What's a tab? It's an energy drink from the 90s.
According to the now you have a CRM, like you haven't talked to this friend and you haven't sent him a card. No, but now with social media, and I think that's one of the things I hate about it. Most of the people who are worth that effort, you see them on Facebook and everything. So you don't really go, I wonder how they're doing it. You kind of go like, huh, that's what they're doing. Okay, whatever. And so it stops you from like reaching out because, hey, so how's it going to that car you just bought? Yeah, I just bought it. Yeah, but I saw that you bought the car. Right, I have it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's all we were going to talk about
Yeah.
when we had tea. So yeah, it's kind of weird. We don't see people because we feel we have a connection with them and that we've touched base with them. But no, you were just looking at a screen
Yeah.
and you were updated, but they don't know that you know.
Yeah.
And so it's weird.
I mean, I think that's almost why, for better or worse, I share not everything in our lives, but a good chunk, only because I know how many people do just kind of rely on social media and don't do the check-ins. I'm like, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but we never want to be that family that like trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like we're not keeping up with appearances. And so here's the bad parts, here's the ugly parts, but here's the really beautiful parts. And so, yeah.
I think that's a healthy thing to do, to like really expose yourself and be vulnerable with your public diary, which is what social media is. You know? It also ruins those people who their project who write the annual Christmas update. You know, it's like, and Frankie is now driving and blah blah blah. It's like, oh yeah, I saw it on Facebook. So it's nothing is a surprise anymore.
That person got fired a long time ago.
Yeah, the Christmas letter department got like, hey, you guys, we love you, but we're gonna have to let you go. We write awesome letters.
I didn't know that was a thing because we've gotten a lot of Christmas cards, but most of them are from funny people. And
Yes.
so there's not that with it. And so I think there was one friend recently that sent us one, and it was like the whole update on their kids. And I'm like, is this the thing you do? Like, I was so confused.
we got a sincere one, and I was just like, we read it, and it was a nice update. But then I looked at her, and I was like, that wasn't funny at all. Like,
It wasn't funny at all. And what do you do with it? Do you reply to it?
I
Are you
know.
supposed to comment?
there was no movie references. No one was half naked with like a wreath over their crotch.
There was no movie reference.
Yeah.
Do we still have that one?
Oh, of DJ? I mean, I'm sure somewhere. Like, I think we,
I think
keep
we
them
probably
all.
just took it off the fridge once we
Yeah,
had kids.
DJ Sandu, he had one where it was like a wreath over his crotch covering
Oh,
it.
I saw
and it
that
was
picture.
like-
Yeah.
I saw it
Yeah.
on social media.
Exactly.
So I didn't miss out. I didn't get the thing
Yeah.
from. I miss him. He's so talented.
He's killing it right now.
He's killing it right
So
now.
good. Yeah.
His stage presence and his go-to phase when it's just I'm so happy and so proud of him because he's been through a lot and you know but
And
now
he's got
like,
it now.
he's not drinking.
Yeah. He's sober. So,
it's so
yeah.
cool.
And he's doing so good.
But
He's
enough
busy.
about us. Let's talk about our kids.
I know, because you have 2 kids.
I have
Yes.
2 kids.
And how old are they?
Jose is 21 and
that's so
Mateo
weird.
is 17.
Oh, no. I remember when they weren't that.
Yeah, because yeah, it's crazy. So they're 4 years apart, which means that they were together in middle school, in elementary school, until Jose left to middle school.
Yeah.
And they were never in school together ever again.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird.
What was that like? I mean, was their bond close and then severed a little bit and then became close again? Did it keep up? Like, how did that dynamic change?
I don't think their relationship is like a generic cookie cutter thing. In particular, with them, we used to drive them to school together. They went to dual immersion at P. Wilson here in Fairfield, and so it's an 80-20 program where they teach them in Spanish in kindergarten and first grade, and then it goes 10%, 90 as far as English and Spanish, and it just changes according to the grade. So by 4th grade, they're 40, 60, and then eventually they're all English by the time they get to 7th or 8th grade. But they're totally fluent and bilingual and biliterate and all these bis. Like my uncle used to be bilingual, bisexual, and by himself.
You have
a-
Bam.
Yeah, okay.
That's Jack's Joke Shack.
Back to, don't you love my jokes that never
Always. Because I always know that they're coming.
And I felt that one. Did you see it? Did you
Oh,
see my
yeah,
face light
yeah,
up?
yeah. I saw your face light
I
up.
have a joke
I heard-
that might fit it. Did you notice
I
it
heard
too?
right when you said the buys. I was like, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, it's coming.
Here comes, and it's not going to be funny.
There's not going to be anything about a bicycle either.
Wait, that's a good one.
It could be.
Yes. So, yeah. So it was a cool thing. It was a cool experience because I brought that up because they didn't go to their the schools that they had to go to their nearest school. We
Yeah.
had to go to that one, that was the only place that offered dual education, bilingual, in Solano County. So they didn't go play baseball with the kids they went to school with. So their friends at school were not their friends at the other activities, and the kids at the other activities went to school together, so they were like a little bit alienated from them, because like, yeah, we didn't get into a fight today at school, and it's like he's just a stranger from another school, might as well be from another state, So they both went through that, So they did hang out at home. They've always danced, right? So we have a studio in the garage with a big mirror and hardwood floor, pergo or whatever you call it now. I think that's from the 90s.
Probably. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but laminated flooring, engineer laminated flooring.
Yes.
And so they have the studio. So they would always dance. They would come home and they couldn't go out and play with the kids in the block because they also went to the other school and they were hanging out with the other neighbors. And they were always like, so they always had each other to dance and to grow together. That was their golf. You could always be a better dancer. And even now they're still trying.
Yeah.
And it's a forever thing, So they've always had that. So they didn't really need to be at the same school to have a nice relationship, And it was nice as a parent to see them working on something together and challenging each other. And saying,
Yeah.
hey, I wrote this and I wrote that. Okay, so look at my choreo. Well, I can do better. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yep.
I can do.
There you go. I can pop and lock better than you. No, you can't. Yes,
crack
I
and
can.
pop, yeah.
And they don't need to dance with your uncle, who's an NSYNC fan, because he's bye. That's Jack's Joke Shack, everybody.
That's what we call a callback in the industry. And there's one more, the rule of three. Something's going to happen. I told
It
the
will.
joke.
She's going to get it later. Don't
Oh,
worry.
yes, you're going to. Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Wait for it.
She's thinking
wait for
about it. She's thinking about it. But
No, I'm on the spot. Oh, no.
but that's great though. I mean, like, I feel like that's what we want for our kids is for them to have a thing that they like can even apart come together to do. Like, look at this, look what I'm doing here. Let's create together. So no, man, that's really really awesome.
And it's especially heavy or poignant or the fact that I was 36 when Jose was born and I was 40 when Mateo was born. So I'm turning 60 and he's going to be turning 20. And so you go, Jesus, 30, 70? I'm going to be 70 when he's 30? It's like, wow. So I'm going to die. Everyone's going to die. But I don't think I'm going to be there when I needed my parents to be there. They're still alive. My parents are like 80-something.
Wow.
And I still need them. And Jody's parents are still alive. So these kids grew up with both parents and both sets of grandparents.
Wow.
So they're privileged. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's important to me that they had dance because they could they have that connection for when Jody and I are not there. You know, like in the 40s, 50s. I'm going to be 57, like I said, this year. And no, I'm going to be 58. This goes to
so
60.
upset at yourself.
No,
Remember
it's just
it. You
crazy.
said 3 different numbers. You were just like going to be 60.
Yeah, I
and
carried
then
a 1.
58 carried a 1,
Oh
divide
my
by 12.
So 40-year age difference with your kids. And because of hip hop, when I take them to class, when I take them to school, to dance, the music is today's music. So I know the music. And when I was hanging out with you guys, how old are you now?
37.
36.
37. So I am exactly 20 years older than you are. But we still, you're like a brother to me. And so was David. What's his last name? David Lou. He was your age, right? No. He was 10 years older. Right?
10? No, I think he was about 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
older
because he
than me.
was 41 when he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I related to you guys, and I think you guys related to me. And I remember one time we were in a car, and Myles said, like, hey, Victor, when did you realize that you were like that technology had changed your life? You know, because I went through like all these. And I said, I think it was like when, you know, like what really marked that for me was CDs. It's like, really? I'm like, CDs nuts? And so that's something that if I said that to my contemporary people, they'd be like, what? But it was like not only like a joke that you youngsters would have told, but the fact that old man Victor said it and the fact that it was so cheesy just made it the perfect joke, Victor joke in our relationship.
But you know how to really get all of the like toothpaste out of the tube of joke toothpaste because I only remember being in the car with you and David when you would drive us to San Francisco, and there was 2 times where you just wouldn't stop, and it just embarrassed it. 2 times where it embarrassed David to exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
And the one time was there was a Michael Jackson song, something about "Do you remember a time?" That song, and from here to San Francisco being like what 30 or 40 miles or so, and plus traffic, and the entire time you kept putting the song back to the beginning like 10 to 30 seconds into the song, and you'd be like, and he just kept going. Hey, David, this is Michael Jackson. Just went, hold on. Do you remember? David, do you know? Hold on. And you just kept. You never played the song all the way through. You just kept pushing back every 10 to 30 seconds, and he was like, and he snapped by the time we got to San Francisco.
It must have been an official Gestapo tool to do that to prisoners. They'd be like, 9 doses of papers. I just had to do like a fake accent. But I think I really pushed him. And then you were feeling for him. And it was just so uncomfortable. But it was like, I think I have some sort of like Tourette's or something.
Easily, yeah.
But I remember I was on stage at Pepper Belly's when like we would open the club. Like there was no one there. Like maybe the bartender, Rosie, the kitchen bartender, and David and I just running the whole show, or you or David or whoever, you know. So one of us would be up in the booth, and sometimes I would be like hosting the open mic. And so anyway, I was making the biscuits, and David would just throw the music. Just start some song in the middle of my joke, and I would like start dancing, and then that would be like that joke's out of the okay. So okay, okay, thanks. And then I would start telling another joke, and he'd be like, and I would start dancing again.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that to people?
No, I didn't do that to people because I saw him do that to you,
yeah,
and I was
so
like,
funny.
"Oh, that's not nice." So that's why it was so funny that you just kept doing it to him with the Michael Jackson song.
So what we just talked about, that was a 40-year-old guy hanging out with 20-year-old guys.
Yeah.
And so, and it fit. There was a congruency there with like,
yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that helped me identify with my kids. The fact that I knew the music, the fact that I knew the ins and outs of like pop culture through you guys. Like you guys would tell me like, hey, this is cool. If your kids see you doing this or saying this, they won't realize you're 40 years older than they are. You know?
Oh yeah.
Well, and I think there's something funny with that of seeing the flip side, because our son gravitates towards talking to adults. Like he'll play with kids, but if he's given a room full of kids and adults, he's probably going to hang out with the adults more than the kids. And so much of that I think is from Myles as well, because since I've known Myles for 16 years, most of his friends are older, and a lot of that is like through comedy. And so it's funny that like for Myles, he will typically gravitate towards those that are older than him for like, I guess maybe like a balancing act.
That was my 20s. Is like when my friends were all like in college doing their thing with each other, I was on the road with guys twice my age on their second marriage talking about this, that, and the other. And so like I was constantly around people who were older than me. And so that's carried through to where like, I mean like people our age were just like, what are you doing? What are you talking about?
I think that is because he sees you guys, especially you, Myles, and the fact that you guys are doing this podcast, like the weight of a word is it matters, right? So words matter, talking matters. And so when you're talking to kids with kids, they're just like, apple, okay, ball, whatever. It's fine. I'm not judging people, but I think what Robin might be doing is really, if he's gonna talk, it has to be heard. It has to be understood, and it has to be processed. And so older people get that.
Yes.
You know, not because, I get you, but it's like, okay, so what are you saying? Okay, that's interesting. That getting that reaction after you say something, like, what are you going to say next, as opposed to like, meh, which is part of growing up and milestones, you know, at childhood, how many words are they using or whatever, you know? So it's beyond communication. It's the weight of words. And I think that's something that you guys, I mean, you started reading to him before you guys decided to have kids.
When he was in her tummy. Yeah.
You know, the power of words, and which is why you guys are doing this, you know, in spite of all the things that you're going through, and because of all the things that you go through with your various careers, and all of your careers are passions of yours, you know. So it's like, okay, not that you're monetizing your talents, but you're like, you really want to share it, and you share it with action. And you know with but there's intention in your words, and I think that's what you're sharing with Robin and your daughter. What's your daughter's name?
River.
River.
River Bliss.
River
so
Bliss.
her middle name's after Faye's dance studio.
Yeah.
Oh no way.
River Bliss.
Yeah.
Faye, man. Faye is a mother of so many children, and she's been able to like explore a different side of womanhood, which is like, I think it opens up when you're a mother physically, but with her I see the power of like loving children who are not yours, but who are very much yours because they need you almost more than a parent. You know, like Faye really like fills in that void as a teacher, as a good teacher.
She was that to Heather because Heather was in Bliss the first year that Bliss was a company, when Faye was real young starting it. And now Robin has been in Bliss for 2 years, a year and a half, I want to say. He's been in Rec for a year and a half.
I met Faye when she was barista at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh, my
And
God.
she would say, "Oh yeah, I love dance. I'm gonna open a studio." I'm
Yep.
like, "Okay."
Yep.
And then you kind of go in business. There's like, "Hey, I want to open a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Open a restaurant."
Yeah.
But they'll never open a restaurant.
Yeah.
But the way she was talking about it, as she was giving me my coffee at the
Mm-hmm.
drive-through window, I was like, "Oh my God!" And then I've seen that studio happen from it and its conception since
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
it's amazing.
She's one, and we've told her countless times. I think even the beginning of Showcase, they share a film or like a recording of everybody, and so they interviewed me this year. And in it, I was saying like she's gonna look back and be like, everything I said I was gonna do, I did. And she's one that like if she says it, best believe she's gonna do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're proving anything to anyone.
No.
And it's not just manifesting like, "Hey, I'm gonna make it." No, simply like I feel like doing this, and that's my purpose. That's my direction. And like we were talking about stand-up comedy. Stand-up is a lighthouse where ultimately you could be a stand-up comedian and be on stage and do specials and everything. But to me, for instance, stand-up, even though I never pursued it like a professional comedian or like a comedian at heart, the way you are, right? It allowed me to like have fun with Bobby Flay and call him my gringo to his face just because I knew the timing. I'm like, "Hey, he's the green team. Let's support him. Go green, go green.
Yeah.
And before you know it, so timing and communicating with people and sales, it's all there, because sales, stand-up is sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's what I offer. They buy it when they laugh. So you get that same, I'll sign and I'll buy because product, purchase. Joke, laugh. Joke, desired reaction. You're a salesperson selling all these different things out of your, "Oh, look at this. We're buying it. We're buying it. We're buying it."
It's the reaction is instant. Like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
away, like, okay, I know exactly where I stand. I think that's been like a hard part with parenting though, is because there's that delay with parenting, right? Like, I mean, with stand up, it's like joke, laugh, response. I know where the feedback lies.
Yes.
With parenting though, I feel like
It's a joke and
you're
a
not
message
going
in
to
a bottle.
come till later. Yeah, it's a joke and a message in a bottle. It's going to take you a while to be like, "Oh, I remember years ago we did that, and here it came back."
Yeah.
Like that full circle.
And you think you're doing the right thing, and that just made me think of Jody and I met at UC Berkeley, right?
Yeah.
And so we're proud UC Berkeley, go Bears. And then when Mateo and Jose, sometimes their friends would invite us to go to the game, and we'd go to Cal versus Stanford. And that happened like 3 or 4 times. So the first time we went, I told Jose, "When you go to school here, that's where you sit. That's where the students are going to." He's like, "Oh, okay." So 7th grade, 9th grade, 11th grade. And then last time I said that to him, he almost started crying there at the stadium. I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Dad, I don't think I'm going to get into Berkeley. I'm so sorry." I'm like, whoa. I was trying to be encouraging and just kind of like, "I believe in you."
Yeah.
But he saw it as an expectation, like, "Boy, you better go to UC Berkeley." And so I told him, no, you don't need to go to school here. I should have all along said, if you choose to go to school here, if you want to go to college, if you want to, then you'll be sitting there.
Yeah.
But I assumed that, hey, you can do whatever you want. You're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if you choose to do this, that's where you're going to be sitting. So you have to be very careful with what you tell children, because you are setting expectations without knowing it. And expectations are like the best way to be discouraged in life. Like if you have, you just need to organize. Never plan. I never plan. I just wake up and like, who's still here? What do I still want to do? Who can I count on? Who can help me? Who still believes in me? Because if you make a plan and you make a map, you can't see that there's a river and there's a swamp and there's a mountain that it's going to snow. That plan may never happen. You need to organize, right? So with your children, you kind of give them what you wish for them, not expect from them, and what you're going to help them achieve if they want to. Jose wanted to be an architect, and he went through hell going to University of Oregon. He went from architecture to product design to art and technology to like now it's art, but he's really good at architecture and mathematical things. So he just got a job. As soon as he graduates, he's going to go to Japan and work selling and installing and creating LED screens for like dance clubs and
That's so cool.
all the like the top of the
Amazing.
the Salesforce Tower.
Yeah.
You know how they have that movement. You
Yeah.
don't even know what it is, but it's like, and who creates that? Could you and I create something that is nothing but has a lot of meaning? You know, so you look at, it's mesmerizing to look at anything at the top. It's like, who comes up with that? Well, Jose's going to come up with that.
That's amazing.
In Japan. I'm like, wow. So he ended up doing whatever he wanted to do. With Mateo, he's like, I want to do musical theater. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think I want to go to USC. It's like musical theater, USC, $100,000 a year. And I'm like, okay, son. But there were no expectations there and just full on support
Yeah.
for what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So he's a senior now. Out of the thousands of applicants, they pick 50 to come and hang out at USC for 2 days. And they pick 16 people to create the cohort that's going to go on for 4 years to do the musical theater for that generation, for that year. And he got to be one of the top 50.
Wow.
And so he did that. And we were at USC just waiting for him to come out. And how was it? He's so happy. We find out April 1st.
Okay.
So today is what, March?
20?
Yeah, March. So in about a week and a half, he finds
April
out.
Fool's Day.
He's gotten into some cool schools that he would like to go to, but and the week after, he got a commercial for some insurance company.
Nice.
And we're like thinking, we have some money saved with a 529 or whatever that's called. We could cover maybe 2 years of USC, but we weren't expecting that. But he did this commercial and he's making so much money. And the commercial part of it was graduating at a university.
Nice.
Guess where he's graduating from?
USC.
USC.
That's
And so
amazing.
I was like, we walked around USC a week. The following week, he's doing a graduation shot at USC at a familiar place
That's
to
so
us.
cool.
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, it's a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be a sign that this is what you get, or I don't know. But it's
That's amazing.
so yeah. I mean, you can't control anything
Yeah.
in life. That's what I've learned. Why even try to control someone else's lives, like your kids? You know.
Yeah.
So just no expectations, intentional or not. You know, like you're gonna go sit there when you go to school here. That means he wants me to go to school.
Yeah. Well, and even what you were saying earlier, words have power, words have meaning. And even I've been talking about that at home of what we accidentally label kids as. Oh, you're funny, you're that, you're smart, you're pretty, you're this. And that can long term like change things for them. And so really being aware of, the words you're using around your kids is so important.
Even when he's having a hard time, we really try and focus on just like, you're a good kid. You know, you're just having a hard time right now. Like, you're not bad. Like, we've never called him bad or anything like that. We've said certain things that he's done may be bad in that moment, but even then we try and circle back around to just like, you're a good kid.
Yeah.
You're still a good kid.
Label the action, label so I taught middle school for 8 years, right? Did I mention that already?
No.
So I taught middle school, 5th through 8th grade. And in my training and learning to deal with kids, see, that's kind of like, you're dealing with the kids, but working with kids, you say, hey, that's a lie, as opposed to you're a liar.
Yes.
Because you're a liar, you're labeling someone for life. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was discovered as a liar by my professor, my teacher in middle school. But if you're like, wait, you're telling me a lie. I'm surprised that you're lying to me. You're telling me a lie because you're not a liar. But what's going on? Why are you not telling me the truth? Oh, because, and then they start, I'm not a liar. You know, it's like, wait, that's so out of the ordinary. Why are you lying? That's a lie. And people start dealing with the incident, the moment, the action, and not with redeeming their integrity or their who they are, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't want to put that child in that position of like,
Yes.
no, I'm not like that.
No.
What? When has anybody enjoyed that? Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not I wasn't trying to mansplain that. I wasn't trying to like,
Yeah.
because with adults it carries on, right?
Yes.
So, you're so sexist. What? Hey, Victor, that was kind of sexist what you just said.
Yeah.
That
different.
approach is even better, you know. And when people say like, men don't check men, you know, it's like, so and so, an inappropriate joke about women or whatever. Hey, you're a fucking bigot. You're sexist or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's like, dude, come here. I think you made her feel really awkward. It's like, really? I know. Didn't you see her face? When you said that, I don't think you know her that well. And even if you did, I mean, wow, what if someone said that to your sister or something? But I'm not saying, I mean, maybe you should talk to her and even consider apologizing, because from what I saw, what you said made her feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's not you, it's what you said.
Yeah.
It's the way she might have interpreted.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want her to think you're sexist.
Yeah.
But what you said was a little bit sexist.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's so much in teaching kids, how to read a room and intent with things. Even like with Robin, with our daughter, you know, she'll start to flinch if he's like too loud and too fast. And so we're trying to have him look at her body language. What is she showing you right now? So for him to be able to figure those things out. But yeah, I think sometimes when we label kids that way, then we're assuming that their intent is to lie or manipulate. And they're not really, they're kids. They're not thinking things through.
Yeah.
Yes.
So...
And we're assuming that they have experience doing so, but this is the first time they lie.
Yeah.
And so
new.
They're like, I said something, blah, blah, blah. It's like, wait, what you said is actually, according to the human code of blah, 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 you are a liar. It's like, no, I was just blah, 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 blah. I'm just
So
learning
many
how to
of their
put words together.
behaviors are introduced to themselves as in the same way a new toy is. And so the new behavior kind of comes into their brain development. And then it's just like, oh, well, this thing, well, it's just like, we're going to use it all the time right now.
Yes.
Until eventually they start to get, oh, okay, well, here are the like kind of roadblocks to that. I bumped into that with the lying. All right, well, maybe I learn now that's probably not the best way to go about things. Oh, okay, I bumped into and so, but every new developmental stage becomes like that new toy. And so they will ring that bell. And as a parent, like we could just pull our hair out just being like, oh my God, what are we doing right now? Are we in the lying phase? Are we in the why phase? Or the because phase? Or the like telling tall tales? And so it's just them being able to go through that, I think is so important. And but also the way that you always approach it, which is just a thing about you that I've known to be so true as long as I've known you. There's a childlike wonder and curiosity that you never put down. Yeah. And I think it's why you are still one of the funniest people I know, and why watching you interact with a child is like a case study for me now as a parent. Yeah. Because I can see it, even as you're just sitting there just like, well, wait, like you're not a liar. So I'm very surprised that you're like, you can see like this, like you're wearing it all on your face. And
you draw them in. Let's solve this problem so that it never happens to you again. Let's work together for you to like not resort to lying.
Yes.
Let's, maybe like, I need time, or I'm afraid to do this, or I don't like that, or whatever, and actions that are encouraged, again, without meaning. You set expectations like I noticed it as a teacher too, but even younger kids, and in Mexican culture, it's like someone will give a girl a gift, some uncle or a neighbor or the boss. Here's a gift. Give him a hug. Say thank you and give him a hug. Give him a kiss. So now you're correlating gratitude with affection and human touch and everything. Dude, words carry.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you should be. You should show gratitude in a satisfactory way by saying thank you.
Yes.
You don't need to accentuate it by thank you and here's your reward. Because then it's like you're 13, you're 14, now like you're like, okay, I don't know, and there's a boob rub or something awkward like that, and it's like, oh, and then there's a reaction from and people who expect it, like, okay, well, what do you say? What do we say? We say thank you. Get away from me, you creepy old man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I see a lot of parents who say like, the classic shove, go say thank you.
Yeah, we'll always be like, do you want to give a hug, high five, knuckles, or just wave? Like, what would you like?
What's appropriate? And again, words carry weight. Thank you. When I go to a restaurant or whatever, get some water, turn around and look at the waiter, look at the busboy, and say like, hey, thank you. Yeah. People are so shocked when you say thank you and look at them in the eye. I never say thank you without looking at the person in the eye. Yeah. Otherwise, don't even say it.
What's Robin been? Because Myles says thank you kindly a lot, and so now Robin's been saying thank you kindly.
Yeah, anytime we're out at like even the grocery store, they give the receipt. Thank you kindly. You have a fantastic day. And so now he's just thank you kindly. Like,
Yeah.
And so he's really adopted saying thank
Yeah.
you kindly.
I do have a question for you because I
Yes.
feel like part of like you figuring things out, your childlike wonder and how you navigate things is because you're present, right? You're in that moment, and so you're able to navigate things. Considering how busy your life is and all the companies you run, how do you do that?
I think the word is mindfulness, right? So while you're trying to solve problems, the past you can't fix. Most people hold on to the past because they want to fix it. They want an apology, or they want to apologize, or they regret what they did, or they're owed something. Even if I went back to college and I talked to the TA who thought I cheated and the other person cheated, not me. Clearly, I still think about that. Fucking Michael Katz, you bastard. But it's over. It's gone. And the future, if you're trying to preemptively fix the future, there's 3 outcomes. The worst case scenario, which is really bad because you feel like you're down, can't get any better, can't get that good. Well, the worst case scenario is going to be super bad. Second outcome, possible outcome, is the best case scenario, which you do not allow yourself to think of a great thing. It's like, well, at least I won't have the house anymore, but I won't have the debt. I won't have the car anymore, but I won't. So you don't see the best case scenario. You don't see good in the best case scenario. So the worst case scenario really sucks. Best case scenario sucks. You don't deserve happiness. You don't deserve to get through this. The third outcome is what's actually going to happen. And you have to wait for it to happen to react.
Yeah.
So as you're wasting time spinning your wheels, trying to fix the past, trying to imagine the future, and how are you going to fix the future, just, man, do your best today. And you're amazing, dude. Like, okay, you are so mindful. You're so mindful that you're like, okay, so what do I have? I have my wife, I have my kids, I have my talent, and then you just keep going. And I think it's that. It's something that I share with you. I like to think that I share with you that it's all I have, Myles, all you and I have is the present. I mean, you've gotten beat up so much that you're like, I'm tired of like seeing it coming and flinching. You can't live in a constant state of flinch. You have to breathe.
Yeah.
And right now we're breathing. And man, I have a huge problem with the salsa company right now. If I tell you, you're going to be like, so are you going to kill yourself or what are you going to do? But you know what? Right now, it's just us.
I mean, I have to tattoo it on me. I mean, here and now, breathe and relax. I mean, like, it's literally just 6 words that'll change your life. And I constantly she constantly reminds me, she's just like, I want you to look at your arm, take a few deep breaths right now. So I can come back down. Cause I'm constantly just like, okay, well, how to rent and then that bill. And then, okay, he needs a haircut.
What are you doing there? From here, imagining it to making it real. No, no. You don't have to bring in fear or send out what you think is going to, no. Instead of that, it's like open, welcome hands and just be ready to like deal with it. Worst case scenario doesn't exist. Best case scenario doesn't exist, but you can imagine it. Best case scenario, every day, don't plan, organize, wake up and be ready. Ready with, my new thing is radical acceptance. When you're faced with anything, and that's what I'm trying to teach my kids too, any adversity has to be accepted and defined, as opposed to like, nope, it's not happening. No. Because now it is happening. It's not going to stop happening because you're saying, so the sooner you go, it's like, you see a guy who just got into an accident and he's out going on his phone going like, like, he just got into an accident. His car, how's he going to get to work? He's going like, And you're like, how is that guy not freaking out? Because it's like, well, he might get a ride. There's Uber. There's all. So he's trying to solve the problems.
Yeah.
So the problem is a flat tire or
Yeah.
a car crash or something. But he's still alive. He still has a phone.
I've heard recently that really stuck with me is like trying to look at any of those scenarios, whether they be kind of good or bad, and reacting in a way where you go, interesting. Because it's such a neutral place to observe from that you then can find yourself in a state of just like radical acceptance to like, this is what's happening. And it's just like, okay, we can now get into a stage of rewiring if you're constantly in a point of having anxiety about what hasn't happened and what you're going to do to stop and go, interesting. Huh. Well, I wonder how this is going to work out. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yes.
And then just kind of letting it unfold. And as you said, organize, be prepared, open your hands to like what is the possibility that could happen. And most of the time, things end up working out.
Well, yeah,
It's
we're
fine.
not stupid. We know what could happen.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't paid my rent in 4 years.
Yeah. It's like, well, what do you think
How
is
are
going
you
to
still
happen?
here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. Are your landlords alive?
Yeah, exactly.
I think 4 years I oversaw it. Do not.
4 months. Lots of long. That's
Yeah.
still a long
Yeah.
time.
4 months.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I
So-
love that you were saying like, don't, be ready, but don't plan and don't have the expectations, because he's said it countless times with his career where he, wishes that he already was. And I'm like, well, since the day I met you, you said when 40 is when it's going to happen, and you're not there yet. So
I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like because every comedian that I had seen who was really like becoming a household name, 40 and over. And so I knew like starting at 19, I'm just like, man, 40 is going to be a banger. And so, I'm 2.5 years out and I'm just sitting here just like, all right, let's go.
So that is your Gary V's Owning the Giants?
Yes. Apparently so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but the other thing that's hard too is I am constantly overstepping and overlooking what I've already done. And she'll just be like, yeah, you romanticize that, but what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
What about this?
when
What
we
about
moved,
that?
I was finding all the newspaper articles that he had been interviewed in, and I was like, oh man, look at this. Your thing was you just wanted to do this and you've done that. You wanted to do this and you've done that. And so he's the king at moving the goalposts.
Well, no, I'm going to. I mean, yes, I accept it. Hey, I accept that. I didn't mean to say no.
Yeah.
I think my rejection came from calling it a goalpost.
Okay.
I think I was talking about lighthouses before, right?
Yeah.
So if you're navigating from China to San Francisco, the captain sees the freaking lighthouse that gets you through the Golden Gate. Right? So it's like, after all this, there's a lighthouse. How many boats have you ever seen touch the lighthouse? No, the
You're not
lighthouse is not
supposed
to
to.
be touched.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
It's supposed to what?
Guide you.
Right? So that you being a comedian at 40, whatever, a relevant, rich, wealthy, whatever it is that you're calling this ultimate comedian, that is your lighthouse. And so when you get to 40, I want you to bow to that lighthouse and let it go. Because when people come into the bay in their boat, it's not a narrow corridor.
Yeah.
You have San Pablo Bay. You have all these things where, like, thanks to that lighthouse, all you could see was the Golden Gate, but you didn't know what was beyond that. That lighthouse, the fact that you fought to get to the lighthouse, now gives you perspective to like, oh, thank you, lighthouse. I didn't know the whole Bay Area existed. Thank you. I'm going to go this way. So that goal, it was a goal, was your lighthouse to get to this wonderful place that you're in. When you started that and you said that at 19 or 20 that you wanted to be that comedian, you didn't know that was what was going to guide you to having this podcast, this beautiful wife, two children. So that lighthouse has to be venerated, has to be honored. You don't have to touch it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to call it a goalpost event again. 'Cause I
Lighthouse.
love that. No, I love that.
Love it.
I'm,
Love
I'm
it.
taking that.
Oh,
I
that's
like that.
great.
Because
instead.
if you don't reach the goal, then you failed. Because in football, if you don't score, you didn't score.
Yeah.
It was a yes and
that's
no.
fair.
Dialectically, there's no solid yes or solid no. So, and there's no win. There's really is a try. And you know what? the fact that you tried to be that comedian at 40 has gotten you this far.
Yeah.
And it's your passion. Passion is not a good word. People think that passion is an attribute. It's an asset. My passion, it turns out, is making burritos and selling salsa. How much do I love being on stage and telling jokes? That's what I really love.
Yeah.
But what I ended up with, paying the bills, raising my kids and everything, was burritos and salsa.
Yeah.
Do I like it? Am I grateful for it? Sure. Am I working hard for it? Yeah. Is it my passion? Evidently it is, because I was not a translator. I stopped doing stand-up comedy. I'm not a drummer anymore, but I still play the drums. Yeah. I still do comedy. I'm writing a set that's beautiful. It's I'm doing something new. It's Mexican jokes. It's not new.
You're Mexican?
Yes.
What? At what age did you realize you were Mexican?
At 12.
12 is when you learned?
Yes.
What a wild time.
They took me away from Mexico, brought me to the United States, and I said, you know what? I'm going to tell people about my country and about my background. And when I got to Davidson Middle School, they said, go over there. And there was already a whole bunch of Mexicans living here. And that's where I was like, oh, that's right. I'm Mexican. You're not Mexican. You're not a fish until they take you out of the water.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I need the water. That's where I belong. So I wasn't Mexican until I was like, Mexican puts you apart from other people. No one, well, I guess people would say here in America, I'm an American, here's my American flag. It's kind of like a different thing. But yeah, Mexican, when I was taken away from Mexico, that's when I realized I was Mexican.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I mean, okay, before we wrap up, though,
Okay.
I do want to get, because I mean, we've been able to cover so much in here. Like, for any new parents, do you have any advice from the parenting aspect of things that you really wish would stick? Or is there anything that you've tried to instill in your boys that you hope sticks or you've seen really stick?
When I was driving my son, Jose, to college, to Eugene, I was like, okay, you're 18. This is it. Your own life, your freedom. I'm going to save you a lot of money in therapy. I want you to tell me where I went wrong. What did I do so that, because I'm that much older than you are, when you're 40 or 50 and your therapist tells you, hey, you know what? That's something that, tell me about your dad. My dad did this and this and that. It's like, yeah, well, this is something that your dad put in your brain. And we need to deprogram it.
Yeah.
So let's do it right now. What did I do that made you who you are, that changed you, that was bad, that I shouldn't have done? It's like, I don't know. And you don't know until it develops and you're 50 or whatever, and you find yourself being a parent and making the mistakes that I promised, I swore I wouldn't do what my dad did, and I'm doing it now. So what I would say is, we got our first dog, my first dog, when I was 50. So Flaco is now 7 years old. We took him to obedience school. The dog is always going to be the same. They're going to follow their path. I need to train myself as a dog owner. I need to train myself as a parent. So instead of working on my child, I need to work on myself to be open, no expectations, but encouragement, and so that kind of thing. So being a parent is more about personal growth to me than forming or shaping a person, and that's your job. No, you just gave them flesh and bone, and I'm glad to have met Jose and Mateo. I love those guys, and they're not anything I made. It's everything that what great people I got to meet. You know, they're their own person.
Yeah. Oh man, that's beautiful. I know, right? Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, your kids now growing up and going, I'm gonna go to Japan. I'm gonna go here.
I'm like, I never wrote that in the script for me because I never wrote it. I told Mateo, who wants to be an actor, I'm like, it's been such a pleasure being your supporting actor, dude. And Victor Escobedo as the dad.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, life used to be about me.
Then
I met Jody and we started working our path together.
Yeah.
And now we're walking behind our kids and just watching them go, and then they start picking up the pace.
And I think I've talked about it before. You know, like the true version of success is when your kids want to still hang out with you as adults. You did it. And you did it.
You did it.
You did it.
It's cool.
You did it, man. That's amazing.
So far, so good.
That's amazing.
But you know what? It's so tiring.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Very tiring.
I'm gonna go back to sleep now.
Good night.
Yes. No, yes. We'll wake you when it's time. So
Tell them about my salsa
we will.
at Whole Foods. And
I mean, oh yeah, we're going to. Yeah, we'll wake up. This is your time. Let everybody know where they can follow you and anything you would like to promote.
turns out my passion is food. It's burritos. So we're at 24th and Valencia and Fulton and Masonic. Papalote. We beat Bobby Flay in 2010.
That is a fact.
And he said the salsa is a secret weapon. So I'm like, whoa, I should maybe start a salsa company. A little side gig from my gig. And then it kind of took off, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Doing great.
You're doing amazing.
Good night, kids.
Yes, absolutely. Victor Escobedo, everybody. And sound off in the comments what you thought was extremely helpful in this episode.
All of it.
It answers all of it. Absolutely all of it. We always have very insightful, funny conversations every time we're together. And I'm very grateful that you were able to come by today and have the same type of conversations that I've had with you that I feel like have also helped formate me into a pretty decent human being as well.
It's
because you knew me when I was just like in my 20s, shitty and unhealed. And like, I mean, I attribute so many times hanging out with you after Pepper Belly's open mic and talking to you and just being like, oh, okay, this is like an actual grown-ass man. And look at him go and look at him do and look at him still be able to play, man. So, I mean, you've always been a big influence to me.
I'm so glad that you've accepted yourself. I think that was the biggest barrier. And I'm so proud to have witnessed your discovery of yourself and your honoring yourself. And it's been an amazing thing to witness.
Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here as always. So, and thank you so much for watching and listening. This is the Two Tired Parents Podcast. I'm Myles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber Crane.
Which is a new last name that she just adopted a second ago. And we will see y'all next time.
Bye.